to the new campaign was sure to be put to the test against unbeaten league leader Shelbourne. Stephen Cullinan has this report.
The first opening of the game came on 9 minutes when Dan Connor's kick-out was headed on by Daryl Murphy, but Willie Bruton couldn't keep his shot down and the ball went well clear of Steve Williams' crossbar. 8 minutes later, the same two players linked up. This time Bruton was the provider, but Murphy went for power rather than placement and blasted over. Shell's first opportunity came on 20 minutes. Owen Heary and Wes Houlihan created the opening. Houlihan playing the ball into Jason Byrne, but the league's top scorer shot just wide of Connor's upright. Shells opened the scoring with a very well-worked move on 28 minutes. Jamie Harris, Jason Byrne and Wes Houlihan all linked up before Houlihan provided the cross and Glenn Fitzpatrick provided the finish. An excellent goal from the league champions, which rocked Waterford back on their heels. Both sides enjoyed periods of pressure from then until half-time, but 1-0 to Shells is how it stood at the break. The second half was only 6 minutes old when Waterford drew level. Shells failed to clear the free kick from the left-hand side, and although Williams got down to save the initial shot, Daryl Murphy's header was deflected off Jamie Harris into the bottom right-hand corner. The momentum looked to be back with the home side, but Shells came close to going in front again just 2 minutes later when Kevin Doherty's header hit the side of the post following Stuart Byrne's corner. The pace of the game was certainly increasing, and it was Waterford's turn to exert the pressure when Shells had to clear their goal line following Reynolds' corner. And then David Breen's clever chip came back off the crossbar with Williams stranded. A great opportunity came Shelbourne's way on 72 minutes when Ger Rowe picked out Jamie Harris, but the centre-back saw his header drop over the bar when he seemed certain to score. Jason Byrne had Connor scrambling across his goal 4 minutes later with this free kick. And shortly afterwards, Bruton came close, but Williams got down well to save his shot. Down at the other end, Ollie Cahill tested Connor with a left-foot shot that the Waterford keeper did well to tip over. Shells had to weather some late pressure from the home side, but they managed to stand firm. Honours even at the RSC as 1-1 is how it finished.
We've passed the test. We've come a long way since last season. Played against Bows here last season where we were beaten 3-1. Last 15 minutes we conceded 2 goals. Now we've played Bows, we've played Shells here, and our fitness has seemed to be up to the level. So as I said, we seem to be going from strength to strength, thank God.
Yeah, I didn't think we played well, to be honest with you, but we'll take the point at the end of the day. Shells are the champions and the best side in it, really. But I didn't think we performed. Maybe the occasion got to some of our boys. It can only help them in the long run, but happy enough to get a point.
It's gone quite well. It's been a very good start. You know, the players have been excellent. You know, for the first few games they've done really well. But it's very early, as you say. It's not even a quarter way through yet, and you know we're not getting too carried away. You know, we picked up a fair few points that we're happy with. It's a decent start.
Well, Noel, Shelbourne remain unbeaten, but Waterford were certainly more than a match for Shells at the RSC.
Well, it seemed to be a great game, all right, and by all accounts a fair result, 1-1 in the end. Shelbourne started brightly again and created a lot of chances. Maybe should have been more than 1 up. And I think they've done that a couple of times now. They tend to, when they get in the lead, sit back and soak stuff up rather than going and finishing teams off. But fair play to Waterford, came back very strong. Alan Reynolds, a good driving force there, getting behind, getting the boys going. They're obviously well up for the games, and they've done quite well. Yeah, it was certainly an entertaining match, end-to-end stuff, and the top two providing good entertainment, that's for sure. Shells going in front. Yeah, well, it was an interesting goal. It was a nice build-up from Michelle's perspective. Bourne comes back, sets up Houlihan on the right with his left. I wouldn't be too happy now, but it's Dan O'Connor there. Almost as soon as the ball hits Fitzpatrick's head, I don't know what the keeper's doing. Here it is, left foot in, Fitzpatrick getting a touch to a general direction, really. And the keeper's just made a bit of a foo-faw there, opened up it. And here was the equalising. Reynolds from the left foot, from the left-hand side. Keeper Williams does particularly well, and then it's just a very, very fortunate rebound. A scrappy goal by all accounts, but one Waterford were delighted to take. You know, it can go anywhere. It falls perfectly for him. You would think he's goal from that, and then on the rebounds he reacts very quickly, to his credit. but it really hits Harristed and goes in for an OG.
You said last season, Noel, that Waterford wouldn't last the pace after a terrific start. You were proved right there, but they've made another terrific start to this campaign.
Well,
can they do it this time? Can they maintain the challenge this time around?
I think they've started. I think they're a better team now than they were last year. I think they have more focus. I think they have more ambition. I don't think they're finished with their signings. I think they're determined down there to get the old glory days back. I don't think they'll be champions. I think they could finish in the top 4. And certainly the way other teams have started, they've every possibility to maintain that push and maybe even finish second or third. But I don't believe they will. I wouldn't be putting money on them to be in the top 2.
Would you go along with that, Damien? Waterford?
Well, I mean, you look at them, Trevor, and you look at the pictures there. It was the big game of the weekend. Both sides played particularly well, but more importantly, both sides went for it. The pitch looked very, very good as well, which is a great improvement. I think the game satisfied everybody. Waterford have a lot to do, but they've got good players. They're improving. Reynolds is a big addition to them.
For Shelbourne, Damien, Pat Fennan will obviously be very pleased with his side start to the season, unbeaten after 8 matches. It's a very good start again from the champions.
Yes.
And he's particularly pleased, I'm sure, with the signing of Glenn Fitzpatrick as well, scoring against Waterford.
Well, he brings everything together up front. I mean, Jason Bourne's in great form again. But the longer Shelbourne go unbeaten, the more difficult they are to go and stop. And it doesn't appear so far that anybody can beat them. Waterford put them under great pressure, had chances, but Shelbourne had an equal number of chances. And it was a game that could have went either way. And in the end, the draw was the fair result, as they say. But Shelbourne is still undefeated.
We mentioned still unbeaten, the only team unbeaten with 18 points, 3 clear of Waterford United.
Yeah, ominous for everybody else, Trevor, that nobody so far is capable of beating Shelbourne. And the fact everybody else seems capable of beating each other. Waterford are doing very, very well. Drogheda have come on a great run. Rovers are a surprise team, I feel, in that end of that top of the table there. I think they've surprised most people by the level of performances and the points they've picked up so far. Bohemians will be disappointed in their position, I have to say.
Let's look at the bottom half of the table then.
The surprise here maybe is the fact that Pats and Derry are so low, and then Cork City just above them. But because it's a 10-team league, Trevor, we keep stressing, a win or 2 wins or even 3 wins, as Drogheda have proven, can take you right up the table. So Noel is quite right. It's too early to panic yet. It's too early to think, well, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. But by the same token, Pats, Derry and Cork City will want to be doing better. Dublin City will have a great boost of confidence with Roy Keane. We're all getting a little bit cynical because of the situation over the last few years. But the good news is for Jason Bourne, I have to say, Brian Kerr has proven that he won't pick anybody out of misplaced loyalty. So Jason Bourne is there because his performances have merited it. The lad has improved enormously over the last few years. He's a late comer to the professional game. I think he only came when he was 19 or 20. In those 3-4 years, he's done an enormous job for both Bray and Shelbourne, but most important of all, he's made very good progression as an individual player.
I've heard people say, Damien, when Glenn Crowe got the break, that it's only a token gesture for Glenn and his family and so on, that he gets into the squad. I mean, is that pure negativeness? How do you see it?
Most definitely, because the previous game against the Czech Republic, Brian could have drawn Colin Hawkins in, centre-halves. Only 2 centre-halves in the squad, and Matty Holland had to actually play at the back for the last 20 minutes of that game. But Brian didn't do it because maybe he felt there weren't people good enough in the centre-half to step into the Irish international team. But Jason Bourne is stepping in because Brian thinks he's good enough. Purely and simply, Brian is nobody's lackey. He does what he wants to do. Jason Bourne will score goals and can score goals and can do it in any company. And if his career progresses the way it should progress and the way it's been progressing so far, the lad could go and play at a very, very high level. And in the meantime, he'll do a great job for Shelbourne and the League of Ireland.
Very quick one, because we've run out of time. Noel, your feelings on Jason Byrne in the squad? Top scorer last year, top scorer this year so far.
It's great. I think it's fantastic that he's included. I don't agree altogether with Damien that he can play at the top level. I think it's an opportunity for him to say that he can. He does score goals. He maybe needs to build up other parts of his game that mightn't be acceptable at the higher level. But it's fantastic that he gets an opportunity. I'm delighted for the League of Ireland and for Jason Byrne. And it just means that Brian Kerr is watching the league. He's watching the domestic. And anybody who fancies their chances and wants to put in extra work and get fitter, well, the door is open. It's a good sign.
Great to have your company.